See if we can have a cat co-host again. Miss Fanny tends to not like being photographed. Oh, there. See, look. See what she did? She's hidden her head from the camera. It's very, very Fanny of her. Anyways, you can kind of see her body. On to my second film for today. I watched Andrea Arnold's There Goes the Cat. She's completely out of the frame now. Oh, she's trying to get under the computer. Fanny. Okay. What are you doing? Oh, cats. I watched Andrea Arnold's feature film debut, Red Road, which was from 2006. I believe I've now seen all of her films because I've seen all her shorts, and I think this was the only feature I was missing. So that's nice. What art? She's digging. Don't you dig? Miss Fanny's crazy. She's a crazy cat. She's completely railroaded this review. Red Road. It's from 2006. It's one of 3 films for which Andrea Arnold won a special jury prize from the Cannes Film Festival. This one is a thriller, and it's not shot in that square ratio that the rest of her films are all in. It's in a more widescreen format, which is strange and kind of makes me feel like she hadn't quite found her visual voice yet, because there's aspects of the film that really fit with the rest of her filmography, and then there's bits of it that don't, and the aspect ratio I found very jarring because it's not what I'm used to from her, and it's not what I'm used to in terms of following her characters and following their point of view. Like, she's definitely a filmmaker who's makes sure you know the point of view of the characters that she's telling stories of, and in this case, that sort of strong POV that she establishes is not quite there. But it is in that we see her, I mean, it has that feel in that we see her watching, she's a closed circuit TV security monitor. So you see her watching. So in that way, it kind of fits in with what we're used to with Andrea Arnold. But instead of us sort of going through life with the POV of the character, we see her observing. So you already get that idea from Arnold that she's really interested in the point of view distinctly of the characters. I wonder if she wanted to shoot this in that ratio and wasn't able to, as this was sort of it was written by her, but it was part of a series. It says on here, it's part of the first film in the Advanced Party, a projected trilogy following a set of rules dictating how the films will be written and directed. And they were set in Scotland using the same characters and cast. Each film will be made by a different first-time director. So I'm wondering if part of that hampered how this was made. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure how the other films were. But the plot of this one... Did they even make the other ones? Yeah. Oh, so only one of the other 3 was made? Interesting. Huh. Well, okay, anyways. The plot of this one is that the main character is the security person, and she is doing security for Red Road Flats, which is at the time the largest, or the tallest... I think it was the tallest residential structures in Glasgow, and she sees somebody and starts following them, and you know that she knows this person somehow, but as the film progresses, you find out how she knows this person, and then she sets to get revenge. So it's sort of like a revenge thriller, but instead of actually getting revenge, I'm going to spoil this a little bit, it's more about redemption and forgiveness and empathy and sort of understanding that everybody's life has value, and even if all you can see is the crime that was committed against you, sometimes you need to look at the broader picture of humanity and of people who are trying to overcome their own past and their own bad behavior. And I thought that aspect was really well done, in that you kind of want to hate this guy, and she definitely has reason to hate this guy, but through working through the grief and working through seeing him attempting to rehabilitate himself, she sort of gets closure on this incident in her life, or at least attempts to move forward. And much like most of Arnold's films, these are bleak circumstances in a bleak world, but it's full of optimism. And that's one of the things I really enjoy about Arnold as a filmmaker, is that you know she's going to take you to bleak places, but you know that she also is not a nihilist. She's not a pessimist. She believes in the beauty of life and the hope of life, even in the most hopeless situations and places. And I think that's the main theme that sort of comes through in all of her films. She's one of my favorite filmmakers, so I am glad I finally have seen all her films. And again, yesterday I watched American Honey, and if you can go see that in theaters, you definitely should, because it's one of the best films that came out this year. So this was Andrea Arnold's feature film debut, 2006's Red Road. It's set in Scotland. It's on DVD. I highly recommend checking it out.